Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire in the PhocusWire studio. Thank you for joining us, Ron DiLeo, the co-founder and CEO of SafeTravelRx.
Pleasure.
Thank you. I think this is quite interesting, this one, because we hear lots of stuff here about distribution and marketing and all those kind of things. And yours is a very specific product.
Right.
I've got quite a few kind of questions for you, Ron, and that's, what are the kind of connection issues do you have with, do you call them customer and first responder? I mean, how
they're subscribers. You're talking about the people that are using the app for the people that are responding.
The people that are responding.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're there. This is one of the things that's great about this business, right? So it's not like we have a call center that's taking these calls. These calls are going directly to what would be 911 here in the U.S. or I think it's 999 in the U.K. Right.
Correct,
And so you're going right to them, right? And so they do this. This is their jobs. Our customers are the people that are subscribers that are using the app.
So why do they need to use you rather than just dialing 911?
Because particularly if you travel, right, the app keeps track of where you are. And if you're in Europe, for example, the app's going to dial 122. If you're in Vietnam, they're going to dial 91.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So one of the patented technologies we have is to the app recognizes where the phone is, the phone recognizes where you are, and then the app connects where you are with the appropriate phone number. Now, if you know all those numbers and there's over 100 of them, you don't need the app. You could just call the number yourself, and most people don't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
And the text message part, which is more and more relevant, right? So in the US, I mentioned this on the stage, in the US, like just over 50% of these dispatches, this is all 911 is, right? Because those people dispatch the emergency responders themselves, right? A little over half of them are on cellular lines. The other half are on landlines. Those landlines going to diminish the effectiveness of the app, right? But if you watch any of the advertising that companies like AT&T and Verizon are doing, they're building out an entire cellular network for the medical industry to actually operate on. And it's a fast-moving train. So when you go outside the U.S., Europe, I think the numbers, you'd have to fact-check this number, but I think it's over 75% of the emergency responders are on cellular networks because it's a more contemporary network.
Quite.
Africa, it's like 90-something because they're just building, telecommunication networks in some of these countries.
Okay. How do you make money as a business?
So,
because it feels very altruistic almost, isn't it? We're providing a great service for people, but you do still need to make money because you're a company. So how do you do it, and how do you grow that? Is it just by getting more users?
You buy more users, and our operating costs are pretty low, right? So we pay AIG Travel Guard an annual license number, and we pay them a monthly fee that's tied to the number of people that are going to potentially call them. And then we have the fee associated with WorldAware, the artist formerly known as iJet. We have an annual fee with them. Otherwise, we don't have a lot of expenses. Except for our developers. And we use a group out of the UK called Mantic Point. Great group.
I know Mantic Point.
They're awesome, man. So we just moved away from our original developers, and Mantic Point is putting us at a whole nother level. So they have a cost. Other than that, whether you call me once or you call me 1,000 times, my costs are the same, the fixed costs. So we charge a monthly subscription, right? So if it will retail, you'll see on the app stores, it retails for $14.99 a month per traveler, or $149 a year. So that's the starting point. If you're buying bulk subscriptions like small companies might do, the number goes down to $6.99. Our costs are significantly less than that.
You're presumably it works better if you sell the concept into a corporation so that they share it around the traveling employee base.
Right, and because of that duty of care concept that I mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which most of them haven't heard of. Right, and believe it or not, there's still Fortune 500 companies that haven't heard of it. But most of them haven't heard of it. But once they understand that there's liabilities, it's not hey travelers, I've got this, this kind of cool app you might want to look at. It's like, hey travelers, I'm responsible for you. You got to buy the app. And they go to the app store and they download it directly, and we give them a code which gets them the discounted number as opposed to the retail number. So So that's the corporate direct and the consumer numbers. For the travel management companies, we're licensing, the API on a yearly basis, and we charge them $10 a call.
Yep.
Right. So you're not going to make a lot of money licensing the API, but it gets the product out there. And then the corporate direct stuff will multiply because I've been in this business for so long. I know a lot of buyers and a lot of corporations. The mother load though is going to be the consumer side, right? You got elderly people, right? That are paying $29 and change a month for a landline and wearing something geeky around their neck, versus a smartphone. Most of them have smartphones, So they're going to save money and have a better product. For when you go to like AARP or you go to like military retirees or university, I just mentioned to Evan on the stage, that's a huge market. So if you're going to send your kids overseas, who's not going to spend $14.99 a month? And especially since it's a semester. So what is that? 6 months? You buy the $14.99 a month for when they're over there, and then you cancel it afterwards. There's no minimum requirement. Meanwhile, all those expenses I told you in the beginning are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right. They don't.
So it scales up that way. Your margin gets a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Ron DiLeo, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.